I'm very honored to be standing here amongst the former Mendenhall winners, quite an emeritus group. And I'm pleased to have the privilege of introducing this year's Janice K. Mendenhall Spirit of Leadership honoree. The Janice K. Mendenhall Award is the most prestigious honor bestowed on an individual by this community. This award is given to a government or an industry executive who has demonstrated exceptional leadership and made a continuing contribution over a sustained period of time to the government IT community. Many of us consider this a lifetime achievement award that recognizes leadership, vision, and commitment to the government IT community and the improvement of government through the application of IT assets. And so it is a true pleasure and honor that I am able to tell you tonight that our awardee is my friend, Craig Lugart. Whoa, whoa! I should have known. It's like a Groucho Marx thing. I say the word, give me a couple minutes. I have some things to say about the awardee. I should have cued him on that, shouldn't I, Ken? Sorry about that. Throughout a 35-year military, private, and public sector career, Craig has consistently demonstrated the leadership that this award embodies. He began his military career right out of the University of Louisville when he began his naval flight training that saw him qualify in over a dozen high-performance combat aircraft. Although, Craig, your Navy, I guess I'd say buddies, wanted me to point out that a P-3 pilot is actually a fighter pilot wannabe. You can take that up with them, okay? But I will say if Scott Craig was here, he would say that your driving exemplifies that notion. After 15 years of frontline flying, Craig's flight status was revoked due to a serious and rare illness contracted while serving in harm's way. But he took it in stride and accomplished a mid-career shift that saw him rapidly become a recognized leader and advocate for the Navy IT modernization effort. Upon retirement from the Navy, he joined the private sector as a senior program manager until the call back to service came from Secretary Riley at the Department of Education, asking him to become the department's chief information officer. He served the Department of Education until he got another call from Secretary Anthony Principi at the Department of Veterans Affairs, asking, or perhaps ordering, him to come home to take care of his brothers. This was truly a summons that Craig could not refuse. And so he has become a familiar sight, speeding around the VA in his iBot chair. I must note he put all of his naval aviator skills to use with the iBot chair when they first introduced it and asked him to test it out. You know, when you have a problem with a plane in the Navy, you make out a list of gripes about the plane. At 230 gripes, Dean Kamen asked him if he would stop filling them out. I personally have had some real fun with Craig. You know, when I first came into the VA, I looked at the door to my office and I noticed that there were just this series of marks about 8 inches off the floor from the door, and then the next day Craig rolls in his chair and I realized that his relationship with former CIOs might not have been as good as the current one. So during this time, the White House tapped Craig to chair the government's Section 508 committee. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that when Craig refers to you as a tab and asks for your support on a 508 issue, he brings you back from theory and focuses you on the reality of serving citizens. So in case you didn't know, TAB stands for temporarily able-bodied. Think about that one, folks. But Craig's primary role at the VA is as the resident patient. He certainly focuses all of us on the services we provide to veterans. He's fond of telling everyone that he's used every service the VA provides, but for one, and he's in no hurry to use that one. So as I looked at the Mendenhall Spirit of Leadership criteria, it became obvious why he's been selected. But the one thing I'd like to especially recognize is his indomitable spirit and the effect Craig has on everyone around him. He just makes everyone he comes in contact with a better person and a better servant to veterans. Everyone knows that he's earned and should be enjoying a stress-free retirement out on the Ocracoke Island, but he's just not finished serving. You know, there are mornings when I get up at dark 30 to head into work, and it's a little cold, or maybe it's a really nice sunshiny day, and I'm thinking, wow, sure would be a good mental health break day. You know, when that crosses your mind, you also start to think of Craig. And the fact is, he's probably already up and out, going full throttle with a wicked grin on his face. And you've all seen that wicked grin. Charging ahead with a passion and commitment to service and to excellence that simply compels you to get out and do a better job serving our nation's veterans. So I'm deeply, deeply honored to be able to announce the 2011 Janice K. Mendenhall Spirit of Leadership Award to my friend, my colleague, and my confidant, and now you can cue the music, Mr. Craig Lugart.
First of all, I'm going to put the condition out there. If you can't understand me, please throw something at me. I rewind and I try it again. Thank you, Roger, the members of IACT. I consider you my family. My remarks will be blessedly short because between my voice, your ears, dessert, and the Monday night football, I know where everyone wants to be. However, Jim Fleising tapped me for Section 508 when I returned to D.C. from Atlanta, where I said I'd never come back to 508 when the Pentagon was in my rearview mirror. And I think Jim was pondering what is the role of the Sale Council and IT going to be in handling this challenge called Section 508. And then I rolled in. So either I was an easy fit or an easy mark, I'm not sure what. However, in that spirit, it's not very often that I get to share in front of 700 captains of our industry and my fellow government colleagues a lesson. And I'd like to use this opportunity as a refresher. Could I have everyone in the room stand? Please stand. And I promise this will be short. Now, if you or your partner, your child, your parent, or sibling are disabled, please sit down. What is disability? That's what if you're colorblind, you're sight impaired, you have significant hearing loss, and by the way, if you're wearing a hearing aid, you're in that group. And so if you have that disability or physical disability, please sit down right now. Don't be embarrassed, I'm already sitting down. Now, for those of you who are still standing, I'd like you, if you know a friend, a neighbor, or a relationship at work who's dealing with a disability, or their family is dealing with a disability, now please sit down. Now, for the few left standing, if you know a disabled veteran, please sit down. Now, if you look around, there are very, very few folks standing. And for those few handful that are standing, know that these statistics say by age 75, you will have a 50% chance of being in that disabled group. And I think all of us intend to live beyond 75 years old. So now, please sit down. You know, 75 is our parents' age 60. At least that's how I'm living my life. I did this as that opportunity to remind you that almost everyone in this room either directly deals with or directly has influence over someone who is disabled. We also are the people in this room that are contract for, that build and deliver systems for our government and our citizens, and more importantly, from my standpoint, our veterans returning from Iraq and Afghanistan. By the way, in no war to date have we ever had as many disabled and injured people returning from the war as a portion of those who went to war. That is the miracle of modern medicine. That's also the war that we will now deal with for the next 2 generations. So I would ask you, as you leave this room, consider what 508 is to you personally, to those around you, and the citizens that we serve. So in closing this, I have one last thing. A lesson many of my mentees in the room, many of staff in the room, many of my staff have heard me say this before. It's a hard lesson that I tell them that I learned at age 19. And this is kind of my ethics statement for the evening. Please remember, the last thing you say to someone may be the last thing you say to them. You may not have a chance to correct whatever that was. Remember that in any conversation. I learned that the hard way at 19 when I and my father had a horrible argument, and I actually blew him off. I left the house in what we would now say would be an unreconciled state between the son and the parent. My father went running that afternoon and died of a heart attack. So I live with a lesson that I learned as a teenager that I watch every day that we very acutely don't recognize. So that's kind of my parting wisdom. Thank you very much for the honor of this award. I pray that I remain the kind of individual that can live up to all aspects of it in the award. Thank you.